All right, we'll call the Parks and Rec Committee meeting of January 7th, 2025 to order. We'll start with roll call.
Steve,
Here.
Andrew,
This time it's
Here, sorry.
Seth,
here.
Emma,
Here.
and Cindy will not be here tonight.
All right, it's moving on to item number 2, first period for public comment. If you have public comment, please come up to the podium and keep it to 3 minutes.
None for you?
None? All
Nope.
right. Is there any folks online? All right, discussion with possible action on memorial bench program.
So yeah, I just wanted to bring this back to you guys' attention because we discussed it before Christmas on a price for a memorial bench program. If you remember correctly, I brought comparables from other communities, got some quotes again from the bench and plaque. Shipping and deliver was $1,000. If we just use Quikrete bags, we need about 50 of those. That's $500. But I called out to the concrete place, and their price is $300. That's $178 for the concrete, and then $100 for a small load fee, and then about $20-$30 for fuel and gas. So that's about $300, and then time. So adding everything up, if we went with the other concrete company or Quikrete bags, it's, close to that $1,800. So in talking with the Public Works Department, they feel like we could piggyback on them when they do some sidewalk improvements. And in talking with the concrete guys out at Kroll, I think that's how you say, he said, if you do that, the charge goes down a little bit because you're not getting that small load fee. So again, I just wanted to bring this to your attention. I think we could keep the price at $1,800 if we decide to do that. Based on our time, I thought 2 guys, maybe about 8 hours. That's about $300 too, just to prep the area, inform the area, and then install the bench. Could be more, it could be less. So again, that $1,800 is a pretty good number if we piggyback on some things. Again, I just wanted to bring it to your attention. If you think we need to go up, I know we had some discussion if we do a flat fee of $2,000 just to get it in place for the new year, because I know there was somebody interested in a memorial bench, and I was going to let her know what our decision was on that price before she looked to purchase that.
Just a quick question, is this something we do maybe like twice a year? Like,
Yeah, we would do one in the
implementation
spring
of-
and fall.
Okay, that's why I was,
Yep.
just so we could have the ability to maybe piggyback off of other city improvements. 'Cause
Yes.
otherwise, if it's the likelihood that, right, if we're randomly doing it, it's probably never going to happen.
And
So-
yeah, we're gonna put that in the flyer that we make up, that it'll be installed either in the fall or the spring.
Okay.
So, again, we could stay with the 1,800. I just wanted to bring back the numbers and give you guys what we're looking at. And after talking with a bunch of people, I think the 1,800 is doable.
I guess my thought would be, if we're making up this flyer, this works for the future year to cover us. But the costs of the concrete, I mean, maybe the memorial benches won't change a whole lot, but if somebody's willing to pay 1,800 for a memorial bench, do we set it at 2,000 just to know we're covered for any extra expense the next 5 years or so? But
Yeah, and that's a good point. I was gonna bring that up. Those bench prices were for 2024. So hopefully they won't go up a whole lot, but there is that fate that the prices still might rise.
And we obviously aren't in the direction of memorial benches to profit at all, but I just wouldn't want to see the thought of it costing, city anything. So my thought would be that we maybe adjust that to 2,000 to feel safer with it.
I think there's also, the matter of staff time that goes into it, right? And I also would imagine that an individual donating a park bench would be generally okay if there's a margin of error that then just goes towards supporting the parks in general, if above and beyond. I mean, you're probably, what are you talking, less than 10% of potential overage. And so as long as those individuals are aware, is like, hey, just, so this is what it is, or, if it ever does come up, I think it's very easily to rationalize it as this is a contribution to the parks in general, but 95% of it went towards the bench itself.
AJ, Emma, do you have any thoughts on the matter?
I just put a chat in. This is Emma. I could hear people really clearly at the beginning with Nate and with the roll call, but now everybody's really quiet. So I don't know if speaking closer to the mic will help. I can hear it, but it takes a lot of work.
How about now?
That is better.
Okay.
We will work on being louder for
Yes.
you, Emma, for sure. Did you follow the discussion then on the thought that $1,800 us for the memorial benches, but that the idea of going to 2,000 to have some clearance for increases and presenting it as a overall donation to the Parks and Rec, that would be an idea?
Yep, I did get that.
You want to make a motion?
This is Seth. I would make a motion that with the flyers and the offerings for memorial benches, that we set that rate at $2,000 moving forward.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
This is AJ, I'll second.
Any other discussion? All right. Voice vote, please. All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? The ayes have it. Thanks, Kale. And
Yep,
then
thank you guys.
update on Eckert Park Playground project.
So I don't have a whole lot of news for Eckhart Playground project. We're kind of in with the holidays, and we're kind of in just a weird spot right now. We're waiting on tomorrow's forestry board meeting in regards to a couple trees that are around the playground and the status of those. So that will kind of give the direction to Leathers on if they need to make some changes to the playground drawing. So they haven't really moved forward yet on the final drawing until they get that information. You can, jump in.
Well, I
if
was
you-
just gonna ask, the trees that they're talking about, are they around where the playground design is, or are they literally within the boundaries of the playground design?
So I would say 2 trees are right on the outside of the playground. And then 1 tree is exactly right in the middle of the playground area. So there's talk about, either trimming them up and hopefully they last a couple more years, or remove them now for the new playground to come in and expand the footprint a little bit of the playground. So there's going to be talk about that tomorrow night. And again, that's kind of putting everything on hold for Leathers until they kind of know the direction of how we want to proceed. And again, until we get that final drawing, fundraising is maybe started a little bit, but hasn't really taken off, since we don't have any presentation to put in front of anybody. We are hopefully having a leadership meeting next week, I believe. I got to talk to Kim Little, who is our chair on that board or that group. So we'll have a little more information on that as well. Any questions in regard to Eckhart Park or playground?
Not right now.
All right. Thanks, Kale. That's all on that. We'll move on to number 5, Park and Rec Director updates.
So yeah, the fun stuff. Parks have been slow in regards to maintenance. However, we've spent a lot of time on the ice rink. We put a lot of time before the holidays to hopefully get it ready for vacation or school break. Unfortunately, due to the warm weather and the rain, we had a puddle down there instead of an ice rink. But the last 3 days, we were able to lay down ice, and we just opened tonight at 4 o'clock. I had a meeting there after, so I stayed and made sure the lights turned on. The lights turned on at 5, so they can skate under the lights from 5 until 9. We're going to maintain it in the morning, Zamboni it, and then before we leave for the night, about 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, we'll do another maintenance or Zamboni on it, so it should be good for the night. So we're hoping the weather holds and we get some good skatable nights and weekends. We already, it was kind of crazy because we were in the meeting and me and Dustin, we probably already had 15 people down there skating. So again, it is, I think, a very nice, convenient opportunity for people to utilize during the winter. Unfortunately, we were having some troubles with the tractor starting. So we're knocking on wood that there's no big problems with the tractor because the Zamboni attaches to the tractor. And if the tractor's not working, then the Zamboni's not working. So again, both of those equipment items are probably 30 years old. But once we got it started, it ran good.
Was it a diesel issue or it was cold and plugging it in?
No,
or
because we
just
store it in our heated
I thought I
shed.
won- Okay.
So I don't, yep.
Excuse my naivete. Did you post on Facebook at all that the rink's open and the hours of the rink?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank
So
you.
I've been trying to once a week ice updates, and then tonight I posted on Facebook that is open.
Thank you.
I know
So-
I had kids as we were exiting our hockey practice last night saying, "Is Park Bowl open?" I said, "I haven't seen an update." So I'm
Yeah.
glad you put that effort in.
So, again, the cross-country ski trails, we were hoping to get those up and running before the holiday. We moved the snowmobile out there, and then again, they warmed up and we have no snow, so that's going to be depending on snow and cold weather, but that's ready to go too.
You were able to get that fired up and
Yep.
running again.
So we changed the battery out, the gas, and made some
Sure the fuel
adjustments.
was a lot
We
of-
should probably run out there this week and just make sure it starts again, because it's been outside for a while.
Those batteries and those can
Yep.
die pretty quick, but I'm sure.
Other good news is the scoreboard came today. So there's 3 sections of scoreboard outside our maintenance shed right now. And talking with Heath Rudud and Sean Ing, we're trying to get a date set to install that. We're still hoping if there's no snow, the ground's hard enough that we could possibly do it when it, maybe warms up a little bit, and get that installed before the spring. If not, we'll have to wait till the spring to get that. But the good news, that's on site, ready to be put up. Eckhart lights, the park lights, we're having some problems with that up there. We're gonna try to go around and replace the ones that aren't working, but we did that in the fall and lights are still not working, so we think that might be a bigger issue. So that might be something in the spring that we have to look at to get a electrician out there and I would say over 3/4 still are turn on at night, but there's some that just won't stay lit. No problems at Bigley with those lights, so it's just Eckhart lights right now. Recreation update. Winter pickleball will start next Wednesday at the middle school. Tomorrow night we have a pickleball clinic hosted by Dwayne Coons. And we let 16 registered and 16 did register, so it's a full class on that. We're still hoping for a couple more in the winter session to make it full. I think we have about 25 out of 32 spots filled in winter pickleball. Our plan in the spring is to offer like a ladder league, more competitive. But that pickleball is still going good. Shelter rentals have started. I was going to ask Lori and the ladies up at the office how that's going, but we did post that, and shelter rentals, people can start calling on those.
We have a list that we get from year to year that they're already
Okay.
notified or whatever, and some have come in and paid already.
So they're coming in. That's good.
Yep.
The logo sign, we got that. You'll see it on my shirt right now. Just did a test run on that. We have a sign outside our office now. If you're down at the Park Bowl, same as this. It's just out on the building, so it looks good. And then we updated the Bigley Park sign with this logo as well. So if there's no dead space up at the top of that, and any future signs will have that logo as well. So you'll see some improvements to that. And yeah, hopefully people now that come down to the Park Bowl can say, oh, that's the Park and Rec office, and come in and say hi. And then the last big thing is we just posted today on yesterday summer hiring. We've been talking with return hirees. We probably have about 70% returning. Not all though, because some are in college and just looking to go elsewhere. So we just posted that we're looking to hire for summer. So if you know of anybody or anybody's interested in a summer job, please direct them our way. Coaches, umpires, those park maintenance positions. And I think that's pretty much all, everything that's going on in the Park and Rec world right now.
Thanks, Gail. All right, moving on to number 6, second period for public comment. All right, and then is there anybody online?
Anybody online interested in making a public comment, you can do so at this time.
All
I
right,
think you're good, Steve.
hearing none, we'll look for adjournment.
This is Seth. I make a motion, we adjourn.
This is Emma. I second that motion.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we're
Thanks, guys.